Good afternoon, all, and welcome to the West Ham Daily. It is a bit late, but unfortunately, work comes first. But thanks for joining. I don't know how many of you are on, but however many of you there are, thank you for joining us on a Thursday afternoon. Right. So this week we've kind of talked about a lot about various players. Anton did an Antonio special on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I talked about the midfield masterclass that Moyes went for in Lanzini and in Lanzini. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Being distracted in Lanzini and Fornals. And today I thought I'd talk a little bit about Saeed Benrahma because that game on Monday night can't go unnoticed without the contribution that Benrahma made. So, excuse me a second. I've just got to send a message. Right, done. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I've got it can't go unnoticed that Benrahma made a valid contribution in the game on Monday night. You know, he made the assist for the winning goal, had an excellent display, excellent performance. Let's recap on his stats. He played 78 minutes. Pass success rate of nearly 93%. Number of passes 41, 5 key passes and 1 assist. And for a player that's going through Ramadan and had to sort of take a quick break once sunset came to sort of get some replenishment, that's not a bad return, is it? I'm not surprised that he was substituted on the 78th minute. I don't think it was anything to do with his bad performance. There was no bad performance. It was more about, I think, he was probably going to start running on empty. I thought Antonio would come off. We always think Antonio would come off when he plays in a game because he always looks like he runs out of energy. But surprisingly, he lasted the whole 90 minutes and his hammies stayed in one piece. But this is about Benrahma. And Moyes, interestingly, I mean, the comments Moyes makes about certain players, sometimes it does make you wonder. With the comments that Moyes made about Benrahma after the game, this is one of the things he said. He said Saeed did a lot of good things, and there were a couple of things he didn't do so well. He got himself a couple of chances. I have a lot of belief in him, but he is a boy who will take a little bit longer to settle. It's taken an awful long time, David. And people are talking about the stats and the number of games Benrahma has started in and how many of those we've won. Unfortunately, I forgot to load the stats on, so I'm sure someone in the comments are going to tell me. So we've kind of like the stats suggest that the more games Benrahma starts, the more games we win. And so for David Moyes to come out with that, I mean, what does he mean by that? I think, he says I've got belief in him, but then he says he's going to take longer to settle. And then he came out with he needs to be more consistent with his decisions. He needs to hit the target more. I like him a lot, and he has a big impact to play. Now, I mean, someone said in the chat, I think yesterday or the day before, if Antonio had let the ball go, it would have gone in. It was a great cross, and Antonio did great to get on the end of it. But it's quite likely that Benrahma might have got his first goal, and maybe David Moyes wouldn't have said, he needs to be more consistent hitting the target. I don't know. It's just a little bit of a weird one, and it just makes me wonder. What's David Moyes going to do going forward? We've got 4 more games left now. Everton is coming up at the weekend, and I'm kind of speculating. What is David Moyes going to do? Is he going to keep Benrahma in the team, or is he going to drop him? Now, let's start with if he keeps him in the team. Now, someone's got to drop out because I think Declan will be back. It sounds like to me, we know that Declan Rice had a late fitness test against Burnley and he failed it. It doesn't look like he'll fail another late fitness test, and it looks to me like Declan will be back. Now, you could argue that maybe Declan shouldn't, you should not change your winning team and Declan should be on the bench. That'd be fair enough. David Moyes has done that with other players throughout this season where the winning team has stayed as it is. But Moyes is going to be, I mean, we talked about this on the show yesterday. I think Moyes is going to be a little bit more defensive minded. So the fact that Declan is back, I think, is going to give him give him a slight change in how we line up. Now, this is with Benrahma in the team. Now, the unfortunate thing is Lanzini drops out. And Lanzini was another player who had an absolutely dynamite game. Talked about Lanzini yesterday. I mean, we didn't think he had it in his locker anymore, did we? And the type of game he played. But as people said, and as we suggested as well, sitting deep and picking the ball up and driving it forward seems to be something that Lanzini really relishes. You know, when he plays that number 10 role, he's been a little bit lost at times. He did, he did well when he was in the Pirate days, etc., etc. But that was a more fluid midfield that we had then. But there's been a couple of occasions where Lanzini has played in the deep role alongside a defensive-minded midfielder, and he's done really well. So for him to lose out, if this is the lineup against Everton, for him to lose out would be really unfortunate. You could argue that there are one or two other players that maybe need to drop out. People will say Fornals. People might even suggest Lingard, who didn't necessarily have a great game. But I kind of think that at this moment in time, in Moyes' mind, not in mine, but in Moyes' mind, Lingard is undroppable. I think in Moyes' mind, Fornals is undroppable. And I suggested how Fornals played the game, further up the field and breaking the play, which was quite a bit of a masterstroke in what Moyes did. So when you look at that, someone's going to have to miss out if Declan comes back. Now, let's say for argument's sake, Benrahma keeps his place. To me, it will maybe be Lanzini. Now, let's change that. If by what Moyes has said, let's go back to those comments. So he did a lot of good things, and there were a couple he didn't do so well. I have a lot of belief in him, but he is a boy who will take a little bit longer to settle. So Moyes likes him, but he's saying, "Going to take you a little while longer, mate." And then he went on to say he needs to be more consistent. He needs to hit the target. I like him a lot, and he has a big impact to play. So it's like it's those like I think in management sometimes when you're taught to praise a member of staff, you're meant to give them the praise sandwich. I can't remember what the exact terminology is. So you go, oh, I really like you. You do a few things that aren't so great, but I really like you. So you sort of sandwich in between the criticism, and you sort of say, I think you're great. You need to be better, but I think you can do it. That sort of approach. And I think this is but Moyes ain't completing the sandwich. Moyes is going, yeah, he's doing all right. He can be better. Full stop. And it's a bit of a weird one with David Moyes. So let's say, for argument's sake, he decides that he does drop Benrahma. What happens then? That means maybe Lanzini stays in the team. Like I said, I at this moment in time, I just with Antonio back, he'll be undroppable. With Lingard, he's a Moyes favourite, and even though he didn't have a great game, I think he'll keep Lingard in the team. I think he relishes having Fornals in the team. But look how the lineup changes. Look how the formation changes. It's a little bit imbalanced because Lanzini won't be able to play that role at alongside Souček, so he'd have to go a bit further forward, which then pushes Fornals out to either the right or the left, and Lingard the same, which means that Fornals can't be as effective in the middle of the park as he was against Burnley the other day, because he was playing primarily in the middle, switching around a little bit with Benrahma and Lingard, but primarily breaking up the play further up the field in the middle of the park. So if Declan comes back, now people have been saying, well, Diop didn't have a great game. I think otherwise. I think Diop had a dodgy start, but I think he improved. And in fact, in my mind, I think he was the better defender of the two central defenders in the end. But people are saying, well, drop Diop, put Declan back there, and then keep the same formation, the rest of the formation as it was. Would he do that? It's possible, but I don't see that it will happen. I think he'll prefer to keep, maybe Ogbonna will be back by the weekend as well. So I think he'll prefer to keep his centre backs as they are and put Declan in. Like I said, maybe he'll drop he won't pick Declan and he'll put him on the bench. But what do you think? Declan's coming back. So in your minds, of the players of the formations that I've suggested and of the players that I've suggested, let's not forget Bowen. Bowen might come back. Let's say for argument's sake, Declan comes back. He keeps Lingard on the left. he probably put Fornals in the middle, and out on the right hand side, maybe he'll bring Bowen back. So he's got options. But is it fair on Benrahma? Is it fair on Benrahma to be dropped, or should he stay in the team regardless? Or should the team that started on Monday night be the team that starts against Everton? I don't think in my mind that he will start the same team, but I guess we'll have to see. Let's go with a few comments. Let's see what we got here. Thumbs up to Chelsea and Man City for Champions League final, only to piss off UEFA, who hate English teams. They only want PSG and Barca final. They're going to be really pissed off when we reach next year's final too. Might have an all-English UEFA Europa League final as well. Jordan, need Man City to beat Chelsea this weekend or Leicester to lose to United. Both would be great. Absolutely. Jordan again. You said the same thing again. Robert Singleton, hello mate, could do a favour for Newcastle on Friday night. Let's not rely on other teams, let's just worry about our own performances. We've still got to win our last 4 games. Jordan again, that would be amazing, Robert. What did Robert say? Robert said a favour from Newcastle. I'll be watching that tomorrow night. Who else we got? Good afternoon, Sean. I'm not stressed at all. Only stressed in the fact that I've got to get to work sooner rather than later. But other than that, not stressed at all. Afternoon, Stu. Afternoon, Mark. I hope you're well. Vinay, glad you're late. I just got it. See, I know you lot can't watch the early shows, so that's why I do a late one. Gary, I'm very well. I hope you're well too, mate. Upton Parker, how are you, mate? Thank you for joining. Adam, I want to know why you changed your name from Adam Cook to Adam Cook. I hope you're well. Good afternoon, Toby. I hope you're well. Thank you, Vinay. Work shirt. I can't wear my West Ham shirt during the day when I'm in meetings. Wishing Anton a speedy recovery. It might be speedier than you think in a minute. So watch out. Freestyle. Good afternoon, Mark. I hope you're well. Jordan, can you put your glasses on eBay still? I'll outbid everyone just to put the price up and we can split the cash. These aren't worn for I can't read anything if I don't wear. Look at that. Beady eyes. If I don't wear them, I can't read anything. So they're not there for show. They're actually there for a purpose. Unless, of course, get enough money and I can buy 2 sets and you can have half the money and I'll have a set of glasses and cash as well. Mike, those mortal words still. You must have run out of reasons for being late. I've got plenty of reasons for why I'm always late, mate. Dealey, is Stelios a Primark yellow shirt model? Oi, this is a classic art gallery shirt. Go and look them up online. Art gallery clothing. Toby, he smashed it, to be fair. Stel, they all did. Yeah, he did. But I wonder what is going to happen. What was that? Another meeting invite. Din Corp. I thought Said was the best player after Antonio. I gave Lanzini the best player, but you could have picked 3 or 4 players that evening. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people would disagree with you, Din Corp. Vinay, Benrahma gave us a Ramadan special. Antonio gave us a Snowman special. Anthony Barraza, $2. Thank you, mate. Very much appreciated. Thank you for the donation, that contribution. I don't know what you want to call it. Anton, $2 there. So what does that buy us nowadays? Well, a bit more money towards paying for this platform, I guess. So thank you, Anthony. David M. Will Benrahma start on this? What I've just been talking about. You tell me. What do you think? Will he start on Sunday? Sorry. Daniela. Hello, Daniela. I hope you're well. Morning, everyone. We now have City being linked with right. Oh, forget all that crap, Daniela. Morning. Where are you for it to be morning where you are? Don't listen to all that absolute hogwash. They're going to be, by the end of this season, every Premier League team will have been linked to Declan. So do not listen to that pile of crap. Anthony again. Benrahma really needs a goal. His confidence is quietly growing, and he's got a great mentality. I agree with you, but it seems Moyes thinks otherwise. Din Corp, I think we only had 1 loss from all his starts. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have put that stat up and I forgot to do so. Gary, yeah, he was very good indeed. I'm sure he knows he can improve. I think every player can improve, can't they? But absolutely. I mean, Fantastic display. Jam Jar only lost one that he started. Thank you for confirming that. Kent Hammers, I hope you're well, mate. Benny did great. A couple of poor decisions whether to go by himself or pass, but I'm splitting hairs a bit. I've just got a feeling if Dex is fit, he won't play. That's why I asked the question. What do you guys think? It looks like Declan is back, and if he is, will Moyes break a habit and go, I'll keep a winning team? Will he actually change a winning team? And if he does, who will drop out for Declan? It'd be harsh. Jam Jar, the one he missed was just inches from the post, so it's not like he was severely off target. I agree. I just kind of think David Moyes, I'm guessing he's doing it because he wants to, keep that momentum going with the player. He wants to sort of like, say to him, you're doing all right, but you need to do better and try and G him up. But I don't know if that works on every player. Some players relish that. Does it work with Benrahma? I don't know. I don't know. People were saying he looked really upset when he was substituted. So I don't know. D. Lee, I believe a manager just tell the player what he needs from him, not in the press, in-house, not in the press. But in-house, yeah, that's a really good point, mate. Don't display it all over media. If you've got something to say to the player, then do it privately. Yeah, good point. Yeah, and Vinay agrees with you. There you go, Gary. I'm asking you the question: Who drops if Rice is fit? Jam Jar. Problem is the press also questions specifically on Benrahma, so Moyes needs to. But if you look at the way Jam Jar, when he talks about other players, he doesn't seem to be as sort of critical about other players as he seems to be with Benrahma. I don't want to think that he's picking on him. I think Benrahma's here for the duration. I think Benrahma is going to improve, and I think Benrahma's going to be a class player. Now, let's say for argument's sake, next season we do not sign Lingard for one reason or another. Let's say we don't sign him. I can see Benrahma growing into that role, becoming our talisman, because it's it'll be kind of natural for him to do so. That's if we don't sign Lingard. But Benrahma would be the obvious choice, wouldn't he? Upton Parker, I think he won't start against Everton, but he will for the last three. That's a really good point, because maybe Moyes, as I suggested, I think yesterday, Moyes kind of treats the team like an American football coach, where he picks specific teams for specific games. And you might be right there, Upton Parker. He might not start Benrahma in the Everton game, because he might need to be a bit more defensive minded. But against the likes of Brighton and West Brom and Southampton, he might think Benrahma's got more of a chance to really shine. So you might actually be quite right there. Sizemon, hello mate. Dealey, I agree, is not a naughty schoolboy. Vinay, the Everton midfield will give a sterner test than Burnley. Declan for Lanzini, unfortunately, but against other teams, he should start. No Masuaku for Benny. I would 100% agree with you. No Masuaku for Benny. I think, and he'll be a bit raw. I don't know about Masuaku. It's still 50-50 on whether he comes back or not. But no disrespect to Masuaku, but anyway, Jordan, we need to be a bit more defensive than the Burnley game. Burnley came close, and Diop and Dawson are a bit shaky. Rice covering them two will help us a lot at Everton. They've got a good attack. Good point. Marcus, could we swap Rice for Souček to work alongside Lanzini and give Big Tom? Not just yet. There's another thing that crossed my mind, but I don't think Thomas Souček needs the rest just yet. Let's get through Everton, and then let's see what happens. But good shout. Michael, Bowen in for Benrahma, please. Oh, interesting. So, you see, people are saying, people have different opinions. Hammer's dad, hello, mate. Lanzini got dropped after Spurs won the goal. Could easily happen. Well, yeah, but Lanzini only did play a couple of minutes there, Hammer's dad. But I get your point. Daniela, I think if we get into Europe, we really cannot sell too many players, and I'm not sure clubs haven't not enough to spread the cash this summer after a year of no fans. Very, very true. So I think you're right. I was suggesting that maybe Lanzini has bought himself another season at West Ham, because I think an awful lot of us thought he was gonna go at the end of the season. Jordan, Lingard is much better running through the middle. I feel he's struggled on the right side, but maybe Moyes has done that to decrease the price tag a little. Vinay, unfortunately, Diop is a ball watcher, but like some people are bird watchers. He did watch that ball bounce, didn't he, for their penalty. Sizemon, Moyes will play Lingard every game because he's not playing at Manx. Is the issue we not got him yet? Let me read that again. Moyes will play Lingard every game because not playing at Manchester is the issue. We not got him yet. I think I got what you mean there. Yeah, let's scroll down a bit more. Mike D, hello mate. Those points Moyes makes on Benrahma can be ironed out in training, providing him with more confidence going into a match. Good point. Yeah, yeah, good shout. Din Core, I don't think Moyes will play Benrahma simply because we have an afternoon kickoff and Said will be fasting the whole game. It's a big ask. That's a really good shout. Didn't even cross my mind that. Even though I sort of mentioned about him, getting some replenishments during the Burnley game, it didn't even cross my mind that perhaps it wouldn't be a good time. Wouldn't be a good time for the guy to play. Good shout. Good shout. David M. Some fans think Benrahma will be sold. I don't think he'll be sold. I actually really don't think he'll be sold. We talked about it earlier in the season. Why would Moyes have sanctioned signing Benrahma permanently in the January window? And everyone's going, "Oh, that's because we wanted Lingard." But he could have sanctioned signing Dawson permanently in January to free up that space for another loan signing. So I don't think we'll sell him either, Bino. Upton Parker. Everton need a bit more respect than Burnley because they could hit us. Very, very true. Let's scroll down. Sean. I hate you already. It's already something like 24 degrees over there, isn't it, Mark? What part of Cyprus are you at, mate? I'm really, really jealous. I want to be doing these shows from Cyprus rather than northwest bloody London in the rain and pissing cold. Sean, so many options that Bowen's not part of the early considerations. All good, really. Well, he has got a lot of options. David M. Will Ogbonna be back for Everton? We believe he will be. We believe he should be. He should pass a fitness test for this weekend. Dincourt, if Moyes does drop Benrahma, I hope he puts Bowen in his place. We need to attack against Everton. Their defence is terrible. Good shout. There's a lot of different options here. Toby, it will probably be Lanzini out and Benny out, Rice and a defender to go in with a back five. Another alternative, absolutely. Daniela, it might be nice to give Souček a rest. I do agree, but I also agree. I don't think it will be the Everton game. I think we're going to need Souček for the Everton game. Can you win one of my masks in the background, mate? You're welcome to them. They're all used. Grumpy old Ben, hello, mate. In the Philippines, or is it, or are you? I can't remember. It's one of those Eastern, Far East countries, isn't it? Lanzini clearly plays better deep and has had a better game than Benny, in my opinion. He needs to be kept in. Everyone's got different choices and different views. Absolutely. Kent, Diop always plays better with Oggy. Diop plays right side when Oggy plays. Diop always plays better with Oggy. Diop plays on the right. Oggy plays on the left. In the second half on Monday, got in front of a striker and won loads of headers. He's a baby in a centre back terms. I like Diop. I think he got an awful lot of grief for. Yeah, he was shaky in the first half. Not brilliant, but I think he got an awful lot better. What else we got? Gary, it wasn't too long ago when we were worrying about injuries. Now they have all seemed to have picked up at the right time. Boy, I tell you what, though, Gary, we did go through a bad patch, didn't we? Virtually almost no players at all. Lee, hello, mate. We have players who all make an impact starting or not. They're all superstars in my eyes and super subs. We're massive. The players are doing their business. Very, very true. We've been saying this throughout the whole season. Every time a player goes out, someone steps in and does just as well as the player that they replaced. Jordan, we need to be a little bit more defensive than the Burnley game. Burnley came very close, and Diop and Dawson are a bit shaky. Rice covering the two will help. I think you said that already, didn't you, mate? I read that out twice. Ironclad, hello, mate. Moyes will go out, all out attack again, but bring in Rice and drop Fab. Fabianski? No keeper, rush keeper. I'm guessing that's who you meant. Infinite Wisdom, hello mate, thanks for joining. Hope you're all well. Everton will be tougher than Burnley, but we can do it. I think we're going to beat Everton at the weekend. I really do. Mick Anderson, afternoon or roll on the weekend and 3 points. Absolutely. Good afternoon, Mandy. Thanks for joining. Peach, how are you, mate? Looks all professional. It's morning here. It's late afternoon. Well, afternoon here. I hope you're well, Peach. I hope everything's well with you. Vinay, J.K. Rowling now writing about West Ham transfer. She is good at fantasy. What? Is that because Man City are linked with Declan? Gary, looking forward to the City game. They'll be looking to wrap up the title. They sure will be. Meg, I think he will play the same team and bring Rice on as a sub. You know, if he's true to his word, he will keep the winning team on. Adam, can't Rice and Lanzini and Souček just interchange and Lanzini play the same way? Bring Benrahma on in the second half if it's 0-0. Good shout. Daniela, even Burnley keeper Pope said we outplayed them. There you go. There you go. I think we did. We deserved more goals in that game. Vinay, Benrahma Benrahma is going to some great stuff in the Champions League next season. We're going to make it, aren't we, Vinay? We are going to be in the Champions League next season. Adam, he did say he was going to be big for us over the next couple of years. There you go. Peach, it's Moyes' way of trying to get the best out of Benrahma. I agree. Ben Moore. I think Moyes sees a lot in Benny, so he's trying to push him and develop him more than we might with other players. I think the same. This thing about Moyes doesn't like Benrahma and Moyes doesn't want him there, and he wasn't a Moyes signing and all that sort of stuff. Let it go, because I don't think Benrahma's going anywhere, to be honest with you. Hammerette, how are you? I hope you're well. It's a long shot, but could we bench Rice for Lanzini to take it easy with Rice coming back? It's a really good shout, you know, because we don't know how fit Rice is going to be. So maybe bring him on sometime in the game against Everton. Good point. Michael D. Benrahma is nowhere near the player Lingard is. He has potential, but still a way to go. I agree with that, but I think maybe I was suggesting that if we do not sign Lingard, then maybe that's, you know, where Benrahma can start to shine next season. Daniela, we seem to have a good team spirit, and I think the players are expecting that they are going to be rotated. Another good shout. And that's a sign of a good squad, isn't it? That you understand that you're going to be rotated throughout the season. Absolutely. Mandy G, Benny is still very raw. His decision making is not sometimes what it should be, but he has lots of potential to be unlocked. Absolutely. Let's scroll down. Going to miss one or two, so I do apologise if I do. Let's have a name that we haven't picked out. Omari Cox. Yo, hello, mate, and thanks for joining. Kevin Bering. I would play Benrahma. He needs game time for confidence for the new season. Yuha. Hello, mate. I hope you're well. Moyes will play against Everton. He'll pick himself in the back line. Sizemon. Still, my point was to keep Lingard playing every game to keep him happy. I got you. Sorry, I didn't misunderstood. Georgie 1 foot, Mark Kerslake, Colossi Limassol. Wow, are you in bloody Cyprus as well, you bastards? I hope you're enjoying it. Daniela, I watched the Spurs 3-3 highlights last night, and Lanzini looked injured or not quite fit after the game. That may be why he was dropped. I don't know, actually, but he was out for a while. James Fever, hello, mate. 13 stars, 8 wins, 4 draws, 1 lost. In Benrahma, we trust. When he plays, we don't lose games. Gary, Moyes has been told he has 30 million to spend on a striker, if it's true or not. No. There's a lot of speculation about how much Moyes has got, but Moyes has already made it clear that he's certainly not going to spend 40 million on one player, and I don't blame him. We've been saying it all season. There's the days of David Moyes, or the days of West Ham, or in fact the days of many teams at West Ham's level going and buying one player for that much money are gone. You know, and I don't think we need to be upset or surprised if David Moyes goes and buys 3 or 4 players at roughly 15 to 20 million pounds each, because that's what he'll prefer to do. We don't need a player. You know, if there's someone that's quite exceptional, maybe, but certainly not. Players like you know, at the value of 40 million. I just don't think it's going to happen. Kevin Bering, I'm watching you still. Anytime I'm retired, you lucky man. I'm waiting for the day. Daniel Wakeman, either I've been watching a different Benrahma to other people because I'm not seeing him have a bad game. When I can't say the same about Johnson, the man will always create chances. I think Johnson's okay, but he's another youngster that is finding his way. Yeah, I think Benrahma's are all right, but clearly the manager sees something that we don't. James again. Benrahma has actually played 7 games in a row. Stats are 1-5, 1 draw, 1 loss. Everton, Burnley, West Brom, Palace, Liverpool. But James, we're not against Benrahma. I think you think that this channel is against Benrahma. We're certainly not, mate. We're very much for him. But when we talk about the players and we talk about what might happen, we're trying to think in Moyes' head, not in what we want. You know, if it were me, I love flair players. My all-time favourite player is Devonshire. You know, a flair player. Now, David Moyes, if Alan Devonshire was available in this day and age, I'm pretty damn sure that David Moyes will bench him and say he's not quite ready yet. You know, it's just the mentality of David Moyes. So when we talk about players, we don't talk about, of course we've got our thoughts, and I've given my thoughts, but we try and get in the head of David Moyes. And I'll tell you something, it ain't easy, because he's surprised. I mean, come on, people, he absolutely shocked us with a lineup on Monday night, didn't he? How many of you thought we were going to have Antonio, Lingard, Benrahma, Lanzini, Fornals? You know, 5 supposedly attack-minded players on the pitch. I never thought that for a minute. You know, and I even suggested that we may not see Benrahma and Lingard starting the same lineup, but he threw everybody on. So it isn't about, you know, we're trying to get into the mind of David Moyes. And when it comes to Everton, you know, of course I love Benrahma to start, but it wouldn't surprise me if Benrahma didn't start. It wouldn't surprise me. Someone suggested earlier that maybe Declan and another defensive-minded player. If Masuaku's fit, it wouldn't surprise me if Moyes goes with a back 5 and Declan in the middle. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And then you kind of see maybe Benrahma and Lanzini drop out the team, as has already been said. Sizemon, Stel, how can I contact you by private mail? Contact me on Irons United. Let's see if I can bring it up for you, mate. You can email us. I bet I haven't got it now. It's ironsunited1980 at gmail.com. I'm pretty sure it is. I should know. I shouldn't. Hang on a minute, Sizemon. Let's just make sure. It is, yes. Irons United, 1980. Let me put it up on the screen for you so you can see. Sorry, people. Silence is not golden when you're doing. Oh, that didn't go through. So ironsunited at gmail.com, Sizemon. Okay. I don't know why it didn't go through, but there's something wrong with my screen. Jam Jar. If we win against Everton, we must go all out attacking football for the last 3. I absolutely agree with you. And if we win against Everton, we are guaranteed European football. I mean, people, here I go again. I can't stop smiling, but there you go. Irons United 1980 at gmail.com. Thank you for that. You know, if we win against Everton, we are guaranteed European football. We don't know which one. We don't know if it's Champions League, Europa League, or Europa Conference, but we will be guaranteed one of those 3 competitions next season. And in fact, actually, it's a good point. Tomorrow in the West Ham Daily, we're going to be talking about how you qualify for, you know, what you need to qualify for any of those 3 competitions. I was going to do it today, but I decided to wait until after the Arsenal game tonight, because that will make it clearer. Because if Arsenal get through to the final of the Europa League, it kind of starts to complicate things. So tomorrow, the West Ham Daily tomorrow will be about what we need to do, or how it all works out for qualifying for the Europa competitions. But one more win and we're in one of those competitions. Maui, it's brilliant team spirit, just like their fans. Absolutely, it has been brilliant. Ironclad, last season we hate the weekends, and now we what else have we got? Ibra, hello, mate. Technically, I think Benrahma is better than Lingard. Benny needs to work on his last touch, needs to be surgical. I think you meant clinical. Here, where Lingard is, this is where Lingard's better. So, yeah, clinical in the sense of, his finishing and stat, etc. Ironclad again. Last season, we hate the weekends. Now they can't come quick enough. That's what you meant. Alens, I'm very well, Alens, and I'm trying to rush through this because I do have to get to work. Gary, still looking cool in his yellow shirt. Thank you very much. Ken Hammond, some of our play on Monday was wonderful, reminding me of the team in '99 who finished fifth, free flowing football. Under Harry, that wasn't it? Bertie Lutton. Lanzini has one good game, lots of people going well over the top. Yeah, I think what we said about Lanzini is that he played brilliantly from a deep role. That we kind of saw him doing a couple of seasons ago, and then it just didn't happen anymore. Maybe the managers or whatever just didn't pick him for that role. But I think what people are suggesting is that we've got options. Whereas when Declan or Souček might get injured and automatically the manager will put on Mark Noble. Now the manager has realised that, and maybe a little bit too late, I don't know, but he's realised that Lanzini can also play in that deep midfield role. So I don't think we're getting carried away. I don't think Lanzini has had the best of seasons. Well, he hasn't had the best of several seasons in the past few seasons, but what it's proven is Lanzini is an alternative option, and I think that's really, really good. Infinite. Benrahma will shine next season. No, Moyes knows what to do. Vinay, Moyes takes players to the fairground to get them used to being rotated. Fred Traylan, thanks for joining us. Who would have thought we'd be pushing for Champions League with a handful of games left? That's why I always smile, Fred. It's like I'm still bloody, I keep pinching myself, mate. I just can't believe it, but it's brilliant. Jamjar. Benny also is adjusting as his move from France to England has been quite quick for him. Saw a French interview where he stated he would never have thought he'd make the Premier League in 3 years. There you go. Marcus Lieb, hello, mate. If Antonio can get the same amount of chances as he did against Burnley, we could really trouble the Everton keeper, whoever they pick. No consistency between the sticks. Good point. Adam Cook, Antonio just needs to just shoot, doesn't he? Not piss around and shooting with his right foot, kicking it onto his left foot and then clearing it. We don't want that anymore. Adam Cook, I still think Lanzini needs to run at games to keep him here next year and give him some confidence. Yeah, good point. Really good point again. Georgie 1 foot from our Liverpool fan. My parents live there. I'm staying in Leicester waiting for our next Champions League tour. I hope you're well, Georgie. Thanks for joining us. Gary Rutter, we need to have shots at Pickford. He's got mistakes in him. Really good point, and that's where Lingard might come in play at the weekend. Sizemon, Moyes, typical jock with his money, probably won't buy no one. And you know what, Sizemon, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Lord Liam, I take Ryan Brewster with Sheffield going down this season. It shouldn't be too difficult to get the lad. Yeah, and Nigel from More Than Just a Podcast at the beginning of the season was suggesting that Ryan Brewster should be one that we should look out for. Apparently, he's Sheffield United did excellent to actually get him, and yeah, maybe he's a player, young striker that could be sold, but I don't think he'll be that cheap. I think Sheffield paid something like 20 odd million for him, 25 mil, something like that. Ken, Moyes will spend Moyes will spend, whether it's 1 million or 30, it don't matter as long as he gets the right player. Some people are obsessed by transfer fees. I do agree with you. We do get carried away with transfer fees, and even I did. When we started paying 38 million for Anderson and 45 million for Haller and all that sort of stuff, and I was like, wow, we're going places. So yeah, I agree. Jordan, what does everyone think about Philippe Coutinho going to Everton? Do you think he will still be quality? And how the hell are Everton going to get these quality players like James Rodriguez? It's amazing, but they're doing it. They are getting the players. They are. From Frenaros near Paralimni. I stay in Protera near Paralimni, mate, when we go over there. Yeah, meet up for a beer when we go. We're hoping for lockdown to allow us to go travelling. End of May, fingers crossed, if Cyprus is reopened again. Lord Liam, this channel is against Masuaku. I'm not really. I do criticise Masuaku. I'll be honest. I do. I think he frustrates me. He frustrates me an awful lot because there is a good player there, but he flatters to deceive many a time. Yeah, I hand up. I do criticise Masuaku an awful lot. Ironclad can't compare Benny and Lingard. Just look at the team and games Lingard has played in. Yeah, what I'm saying is I think I think Benrahma could become a Lingard over time, and maybe next season's the time for it. Ken Hammers, Lord Liam, he's a Chadwell Heath boy, Brewster. He absolutely is. James putting the Benrahma stats out there for the haters. All love from Fat Boy here. I don't think there are any Benrahma haters. I've not seen anyone really sort of slag him off, to be honest with you. Rob J, Trevor Brooking walks on water. He does. And then David Moyes will say he's not quite ready yet. He'll have to be benched. Georgie, Mark has like very nice been to Iron Apple. Oh, I hate Iron Apple. I absolutely hate the place. Revo, I would start the same team first half and go all out for goals. Then at half time, bring on the young skipper for a more defensive midfield, hopefully 3-0 up. Then Deck doesn't need to play 90 minutes. Nah, good shout. Good shout. Go at them. Have a go at them and see what happens. Glenn Marshall, the lineup against Burnley had me smiling. Still smiling now. Same, mate. Same, Glenn. Absolutely the same. Dincore, is it Core or Corp? Totally agree with Stellers. Was totally shocked when I saw the lineup. I did a whoop start, to be honest. We were all just, when we were doing the live watch along, we were all sitting there going, must be a dud. Can't be. This can't be the lineup. We were all we were all shocked. Rob J, same lineup in the first 60, please. Gary Rutter, Pickford kicking is poor. We should close him down when we get a chance. I think Moyes will be aware of that. Everton have won only one in the last 5. They're not ripping things up, and then up come West Ham. Jordan, Stel, please can you start doing watch-alongs for the Chelsea and Leicester League games too? If they lose and we keep winning, that will get us into the Champions League. Mate, I'll be really honest with you, Jordan. There's so much effort that goes into just doing the West Ham watch-alongs. I don't think we even have time to do watch-alongs for other games. Good shout, but there's just not enough time in the day, mate. I'm so sorry. Infinite, Pickford can't catch. We need to have as many shots as we can, and he'll make a mistake. Adam Cook, Arsenal to lose and get no European football. Really need it. And like I said, we'll be talking about how you qualify for the various European competitions in the West Ham Daily tomorrow. So do come in for that. It was under Harry indeed. Good season. Anil, it's about being in the same wavelength. Benrahma is on a slightly different wavelength to the rest of the team. So it's taken a lot longer to adapt. Good shout. Infinite. Last 3 fixtures for Chelsea are Leicester, Spurs. Last 3 fixtures for Chelsea, Leicester, Spurs are the tough ones. We need to concentrate on our game, and they will drop points. I do agree with that. I absolutely do. Wow, you lot! Have you not got any work to do? I know one of you, 2 of you, are retired, but I've got to get back to the office. Did you conclude on whether 5th place can get Champions League if Chelsea, City win and also get top 4? Doing it tomorrow, Alexandra. That's going to be the theme of tomorrow's West Ham Daily. Moyes said, winning is what I do. Who believed him? No one. Ironclad, the Sun Online Sports page have done an article on the finishing places in European qualifying. It's mind-boggling. It absolutely is, which is why I'm waiting till we'll see what happens tonight. Kiwi Fruit, Irons. Hello, mate. Moyes nearly went back to Everton. Thank God he'd come back to us to save us and help us challenge for Europe. Who would have thought it, eh? Who would have thought it? Do I think Chelsea win the Champions League? I don't know, and frankly, don't care. The only thing I care about, if they win the Champions League and then drop down into 5th place and we get 4th, that means we're in the Champions League. But I'll explain all that tomorrow. Liam, usually at this point in the season, we're all talking about how many points we need and who we need to lose to stay up. This season has been mad. Hasn't it just? Hasn't it just? Adam Reeve, I think that Adam Hlozek from Sparta Prague would be good, cheap option, and young too. And we will start talking about transfers when the season's over. MCBS-P. Hello, mate. What happens if we end up 4th and Chelsea won the Champions League? Will we still get a chance of qualifying? Tune in tomorrow and I will reveal all. Let's scroll down. to Kent. Would you take Bisumu as a Rice replacement? I wouldn't take anyone as a Rice replacement because I wouldn't let Rice go. Kent, I've been enjoying the ride since Christmas and I will continue to do till the season ends and beyond. Let's keep this wagon rolling all the way to the Champions League. Kent, we're going to have to get a ticket and go over to watch a Champions League game abroad. Afternoon, Jake. Glad you joined us right at the end. Lord Lynn, not in this chat, but I've seen fans online criticising Benny. I don't know why he played brilliantly. He absolutely did. Whatever happens, we should be proud with 3 more points. Absolutely. Do you think the way we played against Burnley will scare a few teams this season? This week, I think you're right. Absolutely. Jake, hi Ken, blah blah blah. Everyone's saying hi, and that is my lot, people. I do apologise for not being able to pick out any more comments because I've really got to go. So thanks for joining us. Join us for the West Ham Daily tomorrow, where we'll explain how you qualify for all the all the European competitions. So thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. Happy Hammer, let's get you in. So proud of our team this season more than ever. All working for each other, the manager, us fans, blah, blah, blah. Real feeling and commitment and passion. And that is my lot. See you all tomorrow for the West Ham.